Hello and welcome back to Mac at the Movies. Today I'm bringing you a Halloween edition of a weekly movie review for the 2007 remake of Halloween. This film was released August 31st, 2007 on Dimension Films and directed by Rob Zombie, who had also directed The Lords of Salem, A House of a Thousand Corpses, as well as 31 and many, many more. This film has a fairly big cast, but I'm going to stick with the top build here. We have Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis, Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett, Tyler Mane as Michael Myers, the grown Michael Myers, Dag Fierch as the 10-year-old Michael Myers, Sherry Moon Zombie as Deborah Myers, Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode, and Danielle Harris as Annie Brackett. You may remember Danielle Harris playing in Halloween 4 and 5. She's playing a different character in this one, of course. This is the 2007 Rob Zombie remake of the 1978 classic Halloween film by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. This follows the same characters, but promotes more of the backstory, what brought Michael to where he is today, and more of a modern take to it. So, kind of like if the original Halloween had cell phones, different things like that. But it's the same storyline, essentially. If you've seen the original, you may have well seen this one. Whereas the original sort of expands more on the Halloween night and that just day in general. Michael Myers' return. This one kind of goes 50-50 with the origin story of Michael Myers and then the today. So it follows young Michael Myers as he's bullied by his mother's boyfriend. His sister bullies him. He goes to school and gets bullied. And all this sort of pent-up rage turns into him killing his pets, him killing other animals, and then he gets caught in school with dead animal and pictures of dead animals in his backpack, and it becomes a kind of a growing concern. With all this, that sort of spawns after further bullying, further attempted bullying from the kid at school, and just the continued nonsense that he has to deal with in his home, just from everyone, with the exception of his mother, and his little sister Angel, who he nicknames Boo in this film. With the exception of them, everyone's sort of against him. So, with all this, he sort of snaps one night and kills everyone in the house. That's more or less what you get in the original. The original was just the sister. This is the remake, so you get the sister, the sister's boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend. You get the bully from school. So a lot of spoilers in this. I'll just drop that in the description there, or in the title. But yeah, he basically goes after all his enemies, and in the process gets taken away. You get the whole time that he spends in the psych ward and what sort of happens and his mental breakdown from there. Depending on which version you watch, it's sort of different. The escape. You have. I prefer the theatrical version. The unrated version just seems sort of, I don't know, just overly crass for no reason. I think a lot of people's complaint with this film is that you get a lot of that, like the family dynamic, the Myers family dynamic is just very crude, and most people are like, nobody acts that way. But like, I grew up and I'd go over to a couple of friends' houses and you would see them act and say things just like what they were saying. So I don't think that's so far off. But with the psych ward scenes and stuff like that in the unrated version, there's one character who Danny Trejo's character was like training to take over for, I guess, night shift or whatever he was doing, like custodial work, and I guess he was just a guard for that particular unit. He was helping someone he was training someone to take over for that unit, and that particular character just seemed, I mean, I know there are people out there like it, but especially in the unrated scene, it just seemed overly crass for no reason. So I wasn't a big fan of that. So usually whenever I do watch this, I watch the theatrical version. But you see the growth of Michael Myers in the psych ward to the point where Dr. Loomis no longer sees him for, treatment. And Michael ends up breaking out of the Haddonfield psych ward and makes his way back home. What I don't get in this movie, and I feel like there should have been some more expanded story behind this, is, I mean, we get the whole, like, how does he get his way back home? How does this happen? Or how does that happen? None of this makes sense. The only thing I want to know is Laurie Strode, you find out, was adopted. Laurie Strode is Angel Myers, nickname Boo. But you never find out how Michael learns that she is his sister. Unless there's, as we found in these latest Halloween, the Halloween Ends trilogy, or whatever that's going to be called, there's some sort of psychic, supernatural power or something like that. But even with that, I don't see how he just assumes go back to that town and he's going to find her. I mean, it's a different name. It's been, was it 10 years? No, longer than, because I think Laurie is going off to college. So it's, been about 18 years that he's been locked away. So it confuses me how he ends up finding her again, and it just seems like there's a bit of a fast paced telling of the story that leaves out much needed information. But all in all, I really like this movie. As of all of Rob Zombie's films that have been theatrically released, I saw this one in the theater, loved it. I've seen it 1.5 million times, it seems like, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who enjoys horror films. I know this one gets a bad rep. A lot of people dump on it because of Rob Zombie, or they say that he ruined the original. I think he just did it a different way, and I like that whole backstory behind it. Seeing the young Michael Myers, and I think it was a different take on how it was originally done. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't feel like he trashed the original story, and he made it his own in the process without really stepping on any toes. But I think that's just in the eye of the beholder, because a lot of people think that it's a dump fest, but I really liked it. I give it a solid 4 stars. What do you think? Did you love it or did you hate it? How would you rate this film on yours? Jot that down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. And hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to let you know when I have new and exciting videos coming your way. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Happy Halloween, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Bye.